Starting healthy habits is hard, but what I find much harder is actually staying consistent with those habits after I've started them. One of my favorite quotes is, "We are what we repeatedly do." For better or worse, we are our habits. Today, I'm going to be sharing a framework that you can use to actually stay consistent with your healthy habits. These are the 3 things that I do with any new habit that I'm trying to build. I'll also be sharing examples and ideas from my own personal experience that you can use while forming your healthy habits. Some of these ideas are adapted from frameworks proposed in Atomic Habits, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. The first thing I do with every new habit I'm trying to build and stay consistent with is make it easy. I have found it so helpful to think about all of the ways that I can reduce friction around the habit. This whole habit formation thing is already hard enough without adding in extra steps or time. So I would encourage you to think about how you can make the habits you're trying to build more convenient, simpler, and less time consuming. So here are some examples from my own life. The first thing I love to do is put things in plain sight. So I will keep my yoga mat, my dumbbells, all of my workout gear right in my living room. It does look a little bit ugly and I do move it out of the way when I have guests come over, if I remember. But having it right there in plain sight, easily accessible, makes it a lot more likely that I can get my home workouts done compared to if I kept it deep in a closet somewhere and I had to dig it out every time that I wanted to do a workout. I also love setting reminders or alarms or notifications on my calendar, especially in the beginning phases of building a new habit, just because I can often forget. This won't work forever because research shows that after a while, these notifications and reminders or sticky notes on our bathroom mirror will start to blend into the background. But at least at the start, I do find it really helpful. I love pairing new habits with habits that I'm already doing. So for example, every single morning without fail, I make an iced latte at home or I go buy one. So I started taking my supplements and vitamins at the same time that I make my coffee. That way I never forget it because I certainly never forget a coffee, and it's helped me to stay consistent with my supplements and vitamins every day. This one sounds really silly, but trust me, it is so worth giving a try. I love laying my gym clothes out the night before. That way when I wake up in the morning, it's one less thing that I have to worry about, one less piece of friction, one less thing that is making me want to stay in bed, snooze my alarm, and skip my workout. At this step, I would encourage you to think about every possible way you can set yourself up for success and make things simpler. Next thing I try to do with my habits is make them fun. So let's chat about romanticizing your habits. First of all, it makes our habits easier to stick to, which increases our likelihood of us achieving our goals in the long term, which is great. So it is effective to do this. But second of all, I'm a huge believer that we all deserve to enjoy what would otherwise be kind of mundane parts of our day-to-day life. Most of our lives are made up of these little daily tasks that we're doing every day. Things like cooking, cleaning, brewing our coffee, working, exercising. Here are some ideas from my own life about how you may want to romanticize some of your healthy habits. First thing I love to do is create a workout playlist that has my favorite music at the moment, and I sometimes will even add a cute cover photo from Pinterest. If you're struggling in your workouts and you are either listening to the gym music or listening to podcasts or audiobooks, I would highly recommend trying a really good pump up workout playlist. You would be surprised how much it can get you in the zone and really get you to push yourself during a workout. I love newness here, so mixing it up, especially with exercise. So if my habit that I want to build is exercising 4 or 5 days a week, trying a new workout guide, following a new workout, trying a new style of training, working out in a new place like a new gym, or working out outside or at home or somewhere different, or even working out at a new time of day can be a really simple way to add some fun and energy back into your routine, something that might get boring or mundane. Something else I love to do is try and make my space beautiful, especially spaces where I am doing difficult things. So for example, I love to light a candle and try and make my desk and my working space really clean and beautiful so that I feel inspired when I sit down to work on a project. In terms of eating healthy, one of the most helpful things I've done is putting a little bit more energy and effort into making my food beautiful. I think a lot of times we get the idea that healthy food is ugly, like chicken and broccoli in a meal prep container, and I don't think that has to be the case at all. Even something as simple as making sure it's well seasoned, adding a fresh squeeze of citrus, some fresh herbs to the top of a dish can really elevate it. I don't know, personally, I don't want to give up the fun and joy of cooking and delicious food just because I have to eat healthy. So I try to bring back some of the creativity and fun that you have doing traditional cooking and apply that to healthier food options. I am a huge believer that feeling confident matters, so I love to invest personally in activewear. I actually buy a ton of my activewear secondhand through Poshmark. Whether you want to buy something new or thrift something or find it on Poshmark, or maybe you can just take pieces you already have and mix and match them in new ways. I know I actually love doing that. Feeling beautiful and confident and comfortable in your activewear makes it so much easier to stick to a consistent gym routine, I've found. For supplements, a huge one for me, I used to always use my ugliest cups to make my supplements in, like my powders and stuff. I realized that was kind of silly. I'm here to tell you that life is short. Use the nice things that you own. So I would highly encourage you to dig through your cabinet or your pantry and find those like special items you've been saving for no reason and actually enjoy them and get your day-to-day use out of them. It's really impressive how much putting my powdered supplements into a beautiful glass when I drink them in the morning has made an impact on me being able to stick to that habit. It feels ridiculous to say, but it really did work for me. So last tip for this section is I love pairing things that I don't want to do with things that I love. I love using this strategy, especially with work-related projects where I'm just like sitting on my laptop and doing something. So I love pairing that with like a snack, a fizzy drink, a treat, a coffee, even time with friends or family. So like I love doing study sessions or working sessions with friends or with my boyfriend. My boyfriend Cal and I actually go to like a coffee shop working session almost once a week. It makes it so much more fun to do it with someone else. The last thing I try to do with my habits is make them rewarding. I have tons of different strategies of how I do this. So the first one is habit tracking or keeping habit streaks. There are tons of apps for this if you just search the App Store. I personally use a good old-fashioned like checklist in Notion. I personally hate breaking streaks once I get them started. Recently I had a 50-day Apple Watch ring streak that I had to break because I got sick and I was so devastated. Don't underestimate the power of a streak. Seriously, it can really give you momentum to keep up with your habits. I also love checking off to-do lists, so I will often just set my daily to-dos with all of the habits I want to complete and build in Notion. I love getting to the end of the day and having everything checked off. It's just so satisfying for me. So it's simple, but it really does work. These specific examples may not work for you, but I think it's really important to find what motivates you and what excites you, whether that's an app that has you like keep a little plant alive every single time that you complete your habits, or maybe you want to have a printout calendar up on your fridge and you can X every day that you complete a certain habit, like whatever works. I also love giving myself physical reward when I've completed a habit, and this is especially helpful for me for these habits that are really difficult and challenging for me to stay consistent with. So if the habit is really hard, I'll reward myself every time I do it. If the habit is like sort of hard, I just need a little help, maybe I'll reward myself at the end of the week if I've done it every day that week or something like that, so a little bit less frequently. For a while, I would get myself a coffee every single time that I went to the gym, and it was really nice because I would get myself out, I would hit the gym, and then afterwards I would go pick up my coffee as a reward, and it was a really nice way to keep me motivated and start to build that habit and consistency of working out. Similarly, I love setting up systems where I can exchange something I love for a habit that I want to build. So like, for example, I could tell myself if I go for a run today, then I can spend 2 hours tonight on TikTok. I think the most powerful tip in this entire section is reminding yourself of your why. So I personally build every single habit, set every goal in my life with a powerful why to anchor to, because when things get difficult, when I'm feeling lazy, when I don't feel like doing whatever the thing is, if I know there's a really important, meaningful reason behind that thing I'm trying to do, it makes it a lot easier to find that motivation, that willpower to get up and do it anyway. I highly recommend passing every single habit through that filter. If there's not a good reason and purpose behind it that's actually meaningful to you, then I wonder why you would even be doing it in the first place, you know? Even a habit as simple as brushing your teeth every day, like there's a very powerful reason for that, right? It's important for our oral hygiene. If you don't do it, you're gonna get cavities, you're gonna have issues, you're gonna have bad breath. There's all these reasons why you wanna brush your teeth every day. I'll give you a super basic example to show you how this can really apply to any habit you have. Let's say you wanna drink more water and you wanna focus on hydration. Hydration is essential. There's tons of research that even slight levels of dehydration can degrade our mental and physical performance, make us feel tired, give us brain fog. It's just very bad all around. If you knew that you were getting all these benefits from drinking more water, it would be that much easier to be able to actually stick to that habit in the long term, because you know all of the different reasons why you're doing it and all of the positive side effects you're going to experience. The last thing I want to cover in this video is throughout the habit building process, whether you're just starting a new habit or you've been doing it for quite a while and you're still working on really forming that habit and making it more automatic, it's really important to understand that if you repeat a habit enough times, it will become reflexive, purely based on the neuroplasticity of our brains. So the amount of time it's going to take for that to happen is different for each of us, and it's different for each habit. It may take you 7 days to form a habit. It may take you 200 days to form a habit. I hope not, but it is possible. But I hope you can find it comforting that the science shows us time and time again that if we keep repeating this action over and over enough times, it will become more reflexive. It will become easier. We will develop the neural pathways in our brain to make that action a little bit less difficult. So my most important tip whenever you're trying to form a habit is just not to give up. If you loved this video, you will probably love the rest of the episodes in this series, which will be linked right up here as soon as they're live in case you want to check those out. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every 3 days, and I will see you next time.